Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to our team Zoom. Exciting stuff today. If you haven't heard about it yet, you're about to. But anyways, I am going to go and introduce our team leader who has helped us tremendously with all of the things that we're doing. But she's also a good friend of mine, Miss Ellen Winn. And for those of you who are new, because we've got a lot of new people on tonight, I'm going to just give you a brief synopsis about where Ellen came from. She originally grew up on a farm outside of Atlanta, Georgia, and she spent over 25 years in the restaurant industry. And she spent several years in the corporate arena. And with that, she worked in upper management with Domino's Pizza. She was a training director and a senior operations director for Georgia. But she left Domino's in '97 and started her own restaurant. She had a couple of different restaurants, and she's been a business owner ever since. She was introduced to network marketing several years ago, and over the years, she's built massive teams and helped tens of thousands of people along the way. And I met her, gosh, it's about 17 years ago now. And when I met her, she was the national training director for a network marketing company that I joined. And she was a partner in a huge training center here in Atlanta. But she is in David Allen Capital, she is an area director, which if you don't know the comp plan, check it out. And she's also a one-star executive in the longevity comp plan, which we get paid in both places. So it's a wonderful thing. But anyways, Ellen has helped to make our team one of the fastest growing and the most or the largest producing team in DAC. So without further ado, I am going to have Miss Ellen Winn take over.
Awesome. Thank you, Harlequin. I appreciate that. I always appreciate you being my co-host here. It makes it a lot more fun when you've got a partner to run with. So thank you again. Thank you for everyone that has logged in tonight, whether you're coming in live or whether you're catching us on the replay. This is a really exciting time to be a part of David Allen Capital. I've been here since June of 2018, and I've seen an evolution of our program go from slow pace to faster pace to faster. And I believe what we just launched today is going to put us on steroids. So I want to go through some things tonight that'll help you get prepared to move into the future with this new development. But first, I want to start out with our team recognition, which I do every single week. I'm going to get into screen share mode and pull up our top producers for the week. And Harlequin, we got the screen. Looks good. Awesome. Thank you. All right. We have the right slide up and team recognition. I'm going to go through this real quick. We don't have a huge list this week of top producers in recruiting mode, but this is for the week of 4/21 through 4/27. In first place, we have a new leader. Congratulations to Doc Let with 3 new agent recruits. In second place, we had a 5-way tie with LaTwan Brown, Diana Garcia, Eric Johnson, Nora Preston, and TCM Business Capital. Congratulations to all you guys for recruiting a new agent, 2 new agents into the team for that week. Also, with 1 new recruit each, we had Coach William Carter, Melody Clark, Norman Cooper, Katwan Felder, Lisa Freeman, Victoria Gary, Tisha Jackson, Randy Kennedy, Ronnie McKellar, Truett Roebuck, Chris Bartalis, Danny Thomas, Ulysses Tomlin Jr., Pam Warnock, Velma White, Tracy Wiggs, Shadira Williams, and Ellen Wynn, each with 1 new agent recruit. Guys, I dropped the ball. I said last week I was in recruiting mode and I was going to be on the top of the leaderboard every week, and I didn't this week. I got sidetracked with my other business and in preparation for what we have coming and what we just launched today. So I only had one new agent recruit, but that'll be different this coming week. I've already got quite a few new recruits on the team, as I said I would be in that mode. Okay, so let's talk about some funding stories. We've had some great successes here over the past week. Some funding, some big fundings coming along. We've got some big fundings in the pipeline. And I'm going to turn back to Harlequin here. We had talked earlier about a gentleman on her team who had a funding story, and want to let you talk for a minute, Harlequin, if you don't mind sharing. And also, if there's anybody else on the team that is here live right now that has had a funding in the past week, if you would like to share your story on that and let everybody know, whatever you want to share without talking about the business name and without divulging that private information, but maybe how you found that lead, what happened, how our team helped, and so on, then you're welcome to do so. Just raise your hand and let me know that. But Harlequin, if you can share that story, that would be awesome. I'm going to turn off the screen share for a minute so we can go back to your camera.
Okay, just my luck, right? Show me
There
on
we
the
go.
full camera.
Yeah.
But, anyways, unfortunately, this gentleman was not able to be on tonight. He was hoping to, but I'm not seeing him on here. But anyways, one of my team members, Alan McCurry, had a client who was looking to get a truck for her business. It's a landscaping. They do landscaping, tree work, and also some cement repair work, like if the tree roots mess up the stuff. But anyways, she had come to Alan looking for some funding, and ended up, she submitted her application last Monday evening. It was literally just about 5 o'clock whenever the application was submitted. By 9:30 the next morning, on Tuesday morning, she was calling Alan saying, I got approved. Yeah, and this was for a line of credit. So anyway, she got approved. She accepted it. She requested, I think it was 29,000 to buy a truck for her company. And she had been looking for quite a while for a truck because vehicles are very difficult to find, especially if you have a specific type of truck that you have to get. So the money was in her account by Tuesday evening. She lives here in the Atlanta area. The truck was actually in Orlando, Florida, which is an 8-hour drive if there's no traffic. And by Friday morning, she had that truck in her possession in Atlanta. So the fun caveat to that, though, is that she ended up selling that truck to her sister, who also needed a truck. So she's going to pay off that line of credit for the amount that she got. And then she is going to go and she's going to buy another vehicle. So she's going to do another draw on that line of credit.
That's awesome. Hey guys, when you come in, if you don't mind, make sure you're muting yourself. For some reason, we've got an unmuted. There we go. Thank you for catching that. Yeah. Sorry about that, Harlequin.
That's okay. Life happens. Sometimes we accidentally hit that button by mistake, especially if you're on a cell phone. But anyway, so that was a wonderful story on my team this past week. And Alan is super excited and super stoked that he's now amped up because it was over the 20,000 that he needed to get. So
yeah, that's awesome. So she sold the truck to her sister. She's getting another funding, and now Alan is going to get another funding out of that client because she's getting more money. So win-win, two fundings out of one client in a short period of time because she paid it off and is able to get more money now. So thanks for sharing that. Anybody else? I've been running and didn't have time to reach out to see if we had any other testimonials. If you do have a success story you want to share, raise your hand, or we'll move on to the next part of our slideshow here. Okay, you can always pop back in later. I'm going to get us back into screen share mode. Go back to the presentation. All right, here we go. All right, so today, if you were not on live when David did which Monday is typically our leadership call, which is about team building, right? But today we had a special announcement, and that was about our new applet and the online app series that allows independent contractors, 1099 gig workers, to get funded through our partnership with Bank Breezy. So I want to touch on that real quickly, but we're not going to go into great detail because David did that on today's Zoom. I sent the link out to those of you that are part of my text group. I sent the replay link out earlier. And tonight, when I send out the email that includes the replay of this team Zoom, I will also include the replay from today's Zoom of the applet launch. Okay, so David goes through screenshots of everything there, but it's really a sleek application. This is a screenshot that I was able to pull up from the website. If you're looking at it right now, it's 8:12 Eastern time on Monday night. We don't have all of the web pages populated. It's still a work in progress. Everything is done behind the scenes. We were having to work with our partnership with Longevity, which is the database and the IT system that makes our replicated sites work. Okay. And David had to do a workaround on that, but the IT team was working on it. I just don't see that everything has been populated over to our websites yet. But the bottom line is, moving forward, when this gets populated on our web pages, whether they click on the business capital, whether they click on the 25K today, or whether they click on lines of credit, they're going to be sent over to this application series. And this is where they're going to have the logo, the DAC logo, in partnership, as you see here, in partnership with Bank Breezy. Bank Breezy is our partner company in the funding. They have their own new funding platform that has partnered with the company Giggle that is doing the 1099 independent contractor funding. So now we can fund someone that's doing at least $3,000 a month through their non-W-2 or non-employer paycheck income, whether it's a side gig, or if they're an independent landscaper, or their painting business on the side, whatever it is they're doing. If they're earning income that is not through a traditional job and it exceeds $3,000 a month with a minimum of 4 deposits going into a checking account, whether it's a personal account or a business account, we now have a funding solution for that individual. So we've got a lot of opportunity ahead. Our market has opened up tenfold to what it was prior to today, prior to launching this, right? Because there are so many gig workers out there. I think it's like 58 million. I wrote that number down yesterday when David was 53 million people that are in the gig economy, 53 million gig economy workers. So huge opportunity for us to get the word out. So anyway, this is what our page looks like. And again, go watch the Zoom from today, and you'll see all of the step-by-step details as David went through the app sequence. Okay, so I've talked about this now for the past 2 weeks. I'll continue harping on this until we get to the point where it gets completely shut down. But if you have recently started, you probably got a welcome email from David Allen Capital that sent you your bankbreezy.com/your ID link in that welcome email. Well, that link needs to be stopped using. Don't use bankbreezy.com domain. You only want to use your davidallencapital.com domain. So use it instead of Bank Breezy. The product Bank Breezy, that brand, is available on David Allen Capital. Remember, we're partnered with Bank Breezy. So there's a tab on your webpage that goes over to that Bank Breezy brand, but don't use bankbreezy.com. Okay, so Many of you have already ordered drop cards. If you have already ordered drop cards for Bank Breezy, if you used a domain name like I teach, you can redirect that to a page that you want to use on your DAC site. Just nothing to do on the card itself. Just go into your domain host and redirect and point it to the web page on your David Allen Capital site that you would like for your client to land on, the 25K Today tab, most likely. Okay, just be sure to add your agent ID to the end of that link as you do a redirect. So when you click on that link on your page, you're going to get davidallencapital.com/25-today. That will be the link. Don't copy and paste it as is. You must add your agent ID number to the end of that link, and then you can copy that link and paste it in to your domain hosting company there to do that redirect. If you did not use a domain name and had it printed with bankbreezy.com/your ID number, like they ask for on the website, which that gives you an option, then you can use mailing labels to cover what is printed on your card. I'll give you an example of that. This is actually one of my customer finance cards where I had purchased some cards from Harlequin because her cards came in before mine did, and I needed some. So I did mailing labels and I printed my information, my mobile number, my email address, and my website, which is a domain, getdacfinance.com, right? So that redirects over to my customer financing tab. But I stuck those labels over Harlequin's information so that I was ready to get out the door with those customer finance cards immediately. So you can do the same thing with Bank Breezy, just use mailing labels. All right. And if you need help with a domain and you go, okay, what are you talking about? I don't know what a domain is or what a subdomain is, then go over to my training. You would have received it in my welcome email series, like day 3 or day 4, but simply you can go to the landing page, domains.workwithellen.com. It'll take you to a landing page that has a video there about domains, how to set it up, how to redirect it. And I also have an affiliate link at the bottom of that. I'm a reseller of that particular domain hosting company. And I only am a reseller for them because they have the absolute best deals in the industry. Their pricing on new domains is the best on the market. And then their renewal prices, which is where most companies really get you. They'll give you a first year at a great discount, but most companies want to charge you a premium when you start renewing it. This company does not charge a premium. They'll even let you use coupons on the renewal. So I love that. And they've just got a real sleek interface there to work with. Okay, so we got to promote, guys. It is time to build your business and put the hustle muscle to work. And it means that it's time to get busy and get ahead of the curve with everybody else out there, because there's going to be a frenzy of people hearing about what David Allen Capital is doing. They're going to start hearing about Bank Breezy through other companies because we can bring on other affiliates now with our master agent program. So it's time for you to step up and take some serious all-out massive action with this business. Now, tomorrow night, David's going to give us all an opportunity to invite guests to come see our live business overview at 8 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. That is Tuesday. Oops, I got the wrong date in there. I say 4/5. It's May. Today is the 2nd, so it'll be May 3rd. I saved that. I changed it, but I didn't save it on the slide. So sorry for that. So it's going to be the agent opportunity overview. It is going to have new slides added about the new applet that was launched today. So you definitely want to be on that, and don't come alone. You want to bring guests with you to that. The second thing was the big announcement. Again, I didn't update this slide. The big announcement is going to be training tomorrow night at 9 p.m. following the overview of the business. So great opportunity to invite people to training and to the presentation at 8, and then at 9 we'll be following with detailed training on that app series. Okay, there will be a recording available at dacyoutube.com if you can't be there live, but we always encourage you to be there live if at all possible. Okay, so as I said, we need to have a sense of urgency and act on things now so that later you can have a lifestyle that only a few people have. And I love this quote: entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't, so you can spend the rest of your life like most people can't. Okay. Or do the things today that most people won't, so that you can live your life like other people can't. Right. Those are the quotes that I always learn coming up in this industry. And I have an award on my award shelf that has that quote as well for making achievements, because I took all out massive action. And I hope that for you. I hope that you really get ahead of what's going on here with DAC, so that you're getting ahead of the recruiting. So let's talk about tomorrow and inviting to that presentation. Okay. So what I would do is, and what I'm doing is, I'm making a list of people that I'd really love to have in front of this presentation in a live environment where they can actually have a conversation with the CEO and founder of our company, or president and founder of our company. Because at the end, if David has time when he finishes up, he will do a Q&A session, give opportunity for questions. If not, they're still getting to hear from him live in a non-recorded fashion, although it will be recorded for later, but they're hearing it live in the moment, hearing from him firsthand. Okay. So I always teach, I've got a video out there about mastering the invitation, and we're going to apply those same principles in this invite for the live presentation tomorrow. So first thing you want to do is make your list. Who is it that you want to invite to come out and see this opportunity? I always like to recruit up and think of people that I know that are already successful. Okay. Successful people will love what we're doing with DAC, not my broke friends that go from job to job to job and don't ever have enough money to pay their car note, or always begging and borrowing money because they don't know how to manage their money. Those people might like what we have here, but if I'm recruiting, I'm looking for the people that already have success, have proven success, or that are entrepreneurial minded, right? Because those people that are already successful are going to be the ones that know other successful people. Again, successful people love what we have here with DAC. So I'm going to make a list of the premier people that I'd like to invite. And I always like to consider that my board of directors. If I was starting or if you were starting a company, who would you want to reach out to and invite them to be on your board of directors, right? Who are the most qualified people that you know? Who are the sharpest business people that you know that you would want on your board of directors that were advising you with a new business if you were starting that company? That's the level of people you should be thinking about inviting. Okay, so think about those people, make a list, and then you just want to reach out to them. Reach out to them by text message, by phone preferably, or you can send them an email or chat message through Messenger. Emails are probably going to sit there and not get answered. You really want to reach out in a manner where you can have a back and forth conversation with them. Okay, but if you're calling them by phone, if it's someone that you haven't talked to in a while, you just want to do a break the ice conversation. And let me say, I'm reaching out to my friend Andrew. Hadn't talked to Andrew in a while. I might reach out by text first. Now say, hey, Andrew, how's it going? Wait till he interacts with me. And then when he replies, I'll say, you got a minute to chat, and get confirmation that now's a good time to talk, and then call him, talk to him on the phone. When we talk, I might say, hey, man, I know it's been a long time since we talked, but I got something really important I want to ask you. Do you keep your options open for making money outside of what you're currently doing? And just listen for Andrew's response. Okay. Actually, I wouldn't start out. If it's been a long time, let me back up here. If it's been a long time since I've talked to Andrew, I'm going to go, hey, I know it's been a long time since we have talked. I hope you and your family are doing well. Did you guys make it through COVID okay? And ask that question, or just something to break the ice, right? To bring it back in, being personable, and then catch up real quick and say, listen, I don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to reach out because I thought of you with what's going on right now. Do you keep your options open for making money outside of what you're currently doing? And if Andrew says, yeah, I do, what you got? And I said, well, there's a company in the fintech space. Fintech means financial technology, but that's the abbreviated term. In the fintech space, that's doing some really unique things their founder's doing a presentation tomorrow night or tonight, depending on whether you're asking today or tomorrow, about how you can get involved. Now, I wanted to invite you to check it out. Okay. Now, listen, I'm excited as I'm saying this, and that's the key to this invitation. You got to have some enthusiasm and an excitement in your voice. So I do the invite and I go right straight into the next star here on the screen. I'll say, look, it may or may not be a good fit, but it'll only take you a few minutes to check it out. It starts at 8 p.m. Eastern time. It'll be on a Zoom format, and I'd love to have you come. Is that something that you think you can come check out? And I'm going to ask the question and then wait for the answer, and he'll say yes or no, or yeah, I'd love to come check it out, but that time doesn't work for me, or yeah, I'll come check it out. Okay. Based on whatever his answer is, I'm going to say, okay, should I text the link to you or email it or send it through Facebook Messenger? Which one is best? Then I confirm and make sure, if it's email, make sure I got the right address. If it's Facebook, then I'm going to send it right now, or wait, right? So if I'm doing this today and it's for tomorrow, I might go ahead and send the link, and then an hour before the Zoom starts, I might send a reminder text or Facebook Messenger, whatever platform we were using, send a reminder, hey, don't forget, or I look forward to seeing you on our Zoom tonight in 1 hour, that type of message, right? And then again, include that link to daczoom.com. Now, let's go into what you say if he says, well, I can't be there at that time. Is it going to be recorded, right? Then you can go through the slide that I have in my training. Again, you're asking that qualifying questions, but let's just move on down here to, we'll have a link that I can send you where you can actually go ahead and watch it. Or you can say, I can send you a link tomorrow after the recording to send you the presentation. And then you're just going to go through that whole thing. But this slide here is what I cover in the basic recruiting. The main thing is ask if they keep their options open. And if so, I have something I want to show you, not tell. You're not telling the story, or invite you to, or send you, whether it be a link. It may or may not be a good fit, but it'll only take you a few minutes to check it out. And the reason behind that, it may or may not be a good fit, it gives them an out without feeling pressured, right? It makes them feel like you're not going to try to pressure them into getting started on something that isn't a good fit for them, right? So those are the keys to the invite there. Now, let me see. I think that's the end of my slideshow. We'll go out of screen share mode and just talk a minute here about that. So tomorrow night, it's really important, whether you've been wanting to build a team or not, now's the time to do it, or now's the time to embrace building a team and the ability to grow an organization and to leverage your income by sharing this opportunity with other people. I had someone on last week who we spoke on the phone this week, and he said, Ellen, he said, you said something that really rang true to me. And that was me talking about, don't wait until you're successful to start recruiting, right? When I got started, I was in the business and I had an agency of hundreds of agents on my team before I ever got my first funded client. Okay. Harlequin had a huge team growing under her before she got her first funded client. Did it prevent me from building an organization? No, I kept building and recruiting and asking people to take a look, right? All you can do is ask someone to take a look at the opportunity, and then they decide for themselves whether they believe that DAC is a good fit and whether they believe that there's an opportunity for them to make money here. It doesn't have to be about you. Don't make it about you and how much success you have or have not had here. It's about them and the success that they could potentially have here, and also the connections that they could potentially have. Okay, because that growth and that ability for them to have success could turn into some massive success for you. I think I've got one more slide here. I'm gonna hang on a second here. I really think I've got one more that I did not pull up. Nope, it's not there. Okay, let me come back to to where I was with you guys. But, you know, just think about that and think about how you can have success by sharing the opportunity, and then your opportunity to get clients is always there on a daily basis. And I believe that this is going to be a much easier process to attract people to the funding product that we have. And in turn, it's going to be an opportunity to attract people to the agent opportunity. Okay. I know what it was that I wanted to say on this recruiting piece. The auto engaged promotion that if you've been with us for a while, we've run this in the past on several months, and we had stopped it, but I asked David today if he would consider restarting the auto engaged promotion. And by the end of our Zoom today, he said he was going to wait until tomorrow, but he said, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and make an executive call on it. We're doing the auto engaged promotion. What does that mean? Well, if you've been involved with DAC more than 60 days, you have passed your grace period of being auto engaged. What does that mean? Well, when you sign up as a new agent with DAC, your first 60 days as a brand new agent, we consider you engaged according to the compensation plan. What does that mean? Well, in the comp plan, you have to be at least engaged, which means you have to have a client within the past 60 days to be eligible to earn on people that you personally enroll and anybody else in your team. So to earn team overrides, you have to be engaged according to the comp plan. But again, as a new agent, your first 60 days in the business, you're automatically engaged. So you're eligible for those commissions as you get started and start recruiting a team. You're eligible for whatever bonuses are possibly there for you and your team in your first 60 days. But if you're outside of that 60-day start date in DAC, now we have a way for you to start recruiting again and still be eligible to earn on those new agents. It's called the auto engaged promotion. So anybody that you recruit during this month, during the month of May, you will have the ability to earn overrides on what they do over the first 30 days in their business, right? So there's no reason why you shouldn't be recruiting. If you're not engaged, you're auto engaged with this promotion. And then again, as you're promoting it, and we have all the gig workers that come online with the ability to get funded, the numbers will grow, and you will have the ability to get not only engaged according to the comp plan, but also get amped up. And David covered that in the training today. He covered the commission plan, and there'll be more released on that tomorrow night. So another thing that he's talked about being auto engaged, if you were on today and you didn't stay till the very last 1 minute of his speech or presentation, he said, for those of us that are introducing companies to the master agent program, he said, if you bring a company to the master agent program, you will be engaged for life on that business. So essentially, you can sit back and recruit big companies that can bring a massive sales force to DAC, and you'll always be eligible for overrides on what business they do, whether you're personally engaged or not. He just wants to reward you for life for the ability to deliver that type of business to DAC in our partnership with Bank Breezy. So that's what I wanted to cover on a sense of urgency, because there are going to be a lot of people that want to be a part of what we have. So it's going to be a matter of who gets to those people first, right? So if you know people that love the entrepreneur spirit or love networking and may be involved with another company right now, I would reach out to them. If it's somebody that you have talked to about DAC in the past and don't know quite what to say to them now, I would just kind of touch base with them and say, hey, look, I know I talked to you last year about what I'm doing here with David Allen Capital, or I talked to you several months ago about a business opportunity, invited you to take a look, and it wasn't a good fit for you at that time, but something happened today that is probably going to change your opinion. And I just wanted to invite you to come take a second look at what we're doing. So it's a matter, again, of you being excited, your level of enthusiasm, and you opening the conversation and reaching out to those people that you know. Okay, I'm going to open up here for questions. I know we had a lot today. If you didn't see the replay, I want you to take time to watch that tonight so that you understand the size of what we're faced with here with this opportunity, and what you need to be inviting to for tomorrow night, because it's going to be massive. We're going to be following up after the 8 p.m. training. We're going to roll into a 8 p.m. business opportunity. We're going to roll into 9 o'clock training, where David's going to go into more detail on the breakdown of the comp plan, the product, how it works, and questions and answers from people that have had a chance to play around with it or have had issues with the site. As I said, it's not 100% yet, but it will be coming online today. So Orlando, I see your hand is up. I'm going to ask you to unmute. How are you doing? US based Orlando Darden.
US based Orlando Darden. Can you hear me okay?
I like it. Yeah, you sound great.
Thanks. I had to turn my camera off because it makes, unfortunately, if I put my video on, it makes my audio unstable.
Sure.
So hopefully you can hear me throughout. I just wanted to say briefly, I had a success last week. I presented a company, a partnership that to David and Wade. We had our first master agent call last week, last Wednesday, in fact. I think it went through very well. The company is a business partner of mine that is a national financial services platform for insurance advisors, wealth managers, and others in the financial services space. I come from over 30 years of financial services experience. So long story short, the conversation went very well. I'm speaking with our partners now, and we got the documents from Wade to basically proceed. We're just working through some logistics about how to proceed next, but I am happy to say that I think we're close to me in this instance are very close to hopefully having my first master agent relationship with David Allen Capital. And I did miss that last minute where David said you would be engaged for life, so that's really super. I have another potential master agent program, a CPA firm that got a line of credit from me, and they mentioned to me before we even had the master agent program, it's like, how could we, more or less be white labeled under David Allen Capital? Now I came back to them and said, well, since we last spoke, we now have a program that could allow you to co-brand with David Allen Capital. And so I'm going to have a meeting with them later this week or next week at this point to talk about how that might work for them. And they want to offer this platform to their business clients right now. So those are two that I'm working on, and I'm excited about it. And I think I'm so happy that we moved into that direction to offer this platform to a larger organizations who want to co-brand with us here. So I'm happy about that. Success
good
in the work. Just put it that way.
Yeah, good stuff, Orlando. Congratulations on that, and congratulations on you taking that step. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was also saying Harlequin's been very helpful to me to take a couple of calls here and there to help, position me, coach me as I had questions there. So teamwork does make the dream work.
Absolutely. And
Absolutely.
Harlequin is a great coach in that. So
Absolutely.
Good deal. And you're on Harlequin's team. So rightfully so. Absolutely. Okay. So I want to touch on what Orlando just shared, and that is about the master agent program. And also to you, Orlando, the CPA firm that's coming in, if they're not opposed to using the brand of DAC co-branded with Bank Breezy, then them just coming in as a DAC agent is going to pay them more money, and it's going to pay you more money in the long haul. If they're just wanting to market it directly to their customers, then they should become a DAC agent. If they have a sales organization nationwide that they want to pay that sales organization as independent contractors, or they already are, then they would be a good fit for the master agent program. But if they're just wanting to market directly to their clients, then they should become a DAC agent and be able to market through DAC. Again, they'll make more money after they have 4 fundings and hit $40,000 in revenue, they will be at 7.8%, which is higher than what they start out as a master agent. And you're going to get paid the 25 to 50% enroller bonus on what they do. However, if they come in as a master agent, all of their fundings will be dropped to 30% value for your enroller bonus commission. So the master agent program is exciting, but I would go at that one with caution and not be cutting your commission, cutting their commission just because it sounds great. And not to you specifically, Orlando, I'm talking to everybody as a whole. You know, it's a new program and it sounds great, but it can have its setbacks where you may have someone that's better suited just to be a DAC agent. And David touched on that today to make sure that you have the right organizations going to Wade, because this isn't an opportunity for us to send somebody to Wade and then Wade pitch them on why this is a good deal. They need to already have an understanding of what the platform is and how it can add an additional revenue stream to their business with very little effort on their part, because it's a referral based opportunity for them to be sending clients to us. So if you have someone in your sites that you would like to talk to and you're not sure whether you should talk to them about being a DAC agent or whether you want to send them over to Wade, Wade at bankbreezy.com. He is the director for Bank Breezy funding. If you're not sure, then reach out to me, or if Harlequin is your upline team leader, reach out to Harlequin or myself, and we'll kind of walk you through which one is the best fit. But the main thing is we don't want to be sending a flood of people to Wade and distracting him from funding and working with all of our clients that he's doing right now, just because we're misinformed about what that program is. And again, Orlando, not talking to you, you opened that door for the conversation. So I want to make sure that we had an opportunity to talk about that.
I think it's great clarification. Thanks so much. And I'm definitely speaking to the CPA firm that to really consider being just an affiliate, you know, and just having a higher pay. So if they don't have this feeling that they want to co-brand as opposed to just running David Allen Capital as an affiliate alongside their CPA practice, to me, that's fine. I definitely want more money. I want more money for them. So definitely. But I appreciate the coaching, Ellen. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate the comment and your success story. Thanks for sharing. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else with a question or a comment or a success story you want to share? Just raise your hand. At the bottom of the screen, there's a raise hand icon there. Harlequin, do you see any comments in the chat that we need to talk about while we're waiting to see if anybody wants to raise their hand?
The only ones that I have are some private messages to me.
Okay.
Where people are trying to work out who their upline is.
Got it. And if Harlequin is your upline, she'll be able to see that. If you're not in Harlequin's organization, then I would be the one to reach out to, because she wouldn't be able to see if she's outside the organization. So this is a good time to talk about the hierarchy inside of Team Winn, right? So I am the team leader that recruited Harlequin, and Pam Warnock's on here. She was on the leaderboard, and I've got a whole litany of you guys that are on here. Randy is frontline to me. I only see 5 or 6 of you here on screen right now, but all of you guys that are frontline to me, you are building out my organization wide, right? I've personally recruited 680 agents, I believe, somewhere in that neighborhood. I was looking at my numbers yesterday. So I potentially have 680 legs in my business, but Harlequin's leg, or her organization, is just one branch of my business, right? And many of you fall into her team. So she is your team leader, but I am as well, because I enrolled Harlequin into the business. So just want to kind of touch on that as people come in and they go, well, who's my sponsor and who do I turn to for support? You want to go back to your enroller and make that connection. If you don't know who your enroller is, go back to the site that you signed up through, because your enroller's name and contact information is at the top of that website. That'll give you a starting point. And then I would love to see you reach out to your enroller, introduce yourself, whether they reached out to you or not, but make that connection and then ask them who got them started and so on. Now, I'll caution you, somewhere along the line, you may find someone that's going, oh, DAC didn't work for me, so I've gone on to something else. That wouldn't be uncommon. And if that's the case, don't worry about it, because people come and go. This is a free opportunity, and it's easy to get people to sign up for something for free, but a large percentage of people that sign up for our business don't even open their welcome email. They sign up and they forgot they signed up and they move on to something else. So if you run across those along the way that say, well, DAC didn't work for me, chances are they didn't work DAC, and that's why it didn't work for them. So just keep that in mind as you're looking for that support person in your team that you might want to turn to. Okay, I want to say this. I've had some great calls this week with people that have either sent me text messages and asked for a phone call, or they've just called me out of the blue because they had a client on the phone, or we're trying to navigate some Q&A with clients. So keep those calls coming. If you're in a situation where you're talking to a client and you don't know what to say, I'm always happy to do a three-way call with you and your client. It's a great learning opportunity for you to do that, so that you can sit back and listen to the conversation that I have with the business owner, and you just sit back and take notes so that you can kind of get a better feel for how simple and easy having a conversation with a business owner can be. All right, Harlequin, do you have anything else there? I don't see, we got a quiet group tonight. Everybody's sitting back quietly watching and listening. Nobody's raising their hand, so we must have everybody's questions answered already.
Yeah. I actually would like to add something. Through all of this, I have been reaching out to team members, some of whom I haven't heard from in 2 or 3 years. And at the time they were like, nope, I'm done with DAC. I don't want anything else to do with it. They are all coming around. So I would highly recommend, if you have anybody whatsoever on your team, start by calling the people that you personally sponsored. Check, let them know what's going on right now, because we've got a lot of stuff going on, and we got a lot coming too. I mean, David's been alluding to all these other things that are going to be added, and let them know this is what's going on, and they're still in the systems. And if they if you talk to somebody and they have a team underneath them, if they're interested, go ahead and encourage them to call their team. If they are not wanting to do that, go ahead and call the rest of the team underneath them, so that because I've got some people that the person who sponsored them is no longer involved and doesn't want to be, and they're now super excited. And I've had some people who have gotten fundings, and the person was not above them is no longer active. But once they saw those fundings, they're coming around, because it's like, oh, gee, you could have earned a override check that had a comma in it, and you missed out because you didn't, you aren't active. But anyways, like I said, the excitement is tremendous right now with everybody. And once you explain to them what's going on and how much easier this is going to be than it has been in the past, it's a much easier conversation to talk to an individual who has a small business than to talk to somebody who's got a business doing, $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 a month in revenue. It's not as intimidating for a lot of people. So
yeah. So
meanwhile, we've got Clark has his hand up.
Yeah, hold on before we go to Clark here. I got a couple of things on what you said, Harlequin. One, you're talking about, getting an override check with a comma in it. David said today that he has every week he's sending out leadership overrides with a comma in it to several agents every single week. So it's not just a one-off that you can earn a override with a comma in it. And we have several agents that are doing that each and every week. So know that it is happening for those people that are building teams and are working with their teams in that process. So I just wanted to mention that before we go to Clark. I'm going to ask you to unmute. Clark, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. It's me. It's Melody.
Hey, Melody, how are you?
It always comes up Clark. That's my last name.
Yeah.
So I am having an issue with my own computer, letting me get onto things. So I'm going to have to get somebody who knows how to do things with computers to fix it. But my question was, I'm sending out the davidallencapital.com / then my agent ID. Does that have to have www dot in front of it, or HTTPS, or
No, it works either way.
so it'll work with just straight davidallencapital.com?
It will. Yeah, you
Okay.
do not have to put the HTTPS or the www in front of it.
Okay, because I've contacted a business who's interested, and then I have 3 people that hopefully are going to be on the Zoom tomorrow night. So, that link's not for them. I'm just asking for that one business, if that's correct for me to send to him before I send it out. So
It
I
is,
just,
You don't
I-
have to do that precursor.
right. And I talked to, oh geez, my mind is going blank tonight. You gave him to me, a gentleman to talk to. I talked to him, Mike Dew, maybe?
Mike, yep, I see Mike's on here tonight.
And so, I got some help from him, but I do have a lot more questions and everything. So I need to really, sit down and write everything down, because I did go talk to that reverse. I told you about the reverse job fair where the younger generation was there,
Yeah.
and that stuff. So I went there. So I got 13 different resumes from that. And so, I want to know what I'm doing before I bring them on board, or at least be able to answer some of their questions. So, I'm kind of just in this circle and trying to figure it all out.
All right, great. All right, did you have any other questions, Melanie?
No, that's it.
No.
Well,
Okay,
have a good
thank
night.
you.
Thanks.
I appreciate the input there, and that brings to mind something else I'd like to touch on. Okay, so I was just saying about how people don't want to recruit until they've had a funded deal and have proven to themselves that DAC works. Something that you just said also struck that note of having success and knowing what you're talking about before you bring people on. Don't worry about that. Okay, don't let your being new prevent you from recruiting other people, because you don't have to be the expert. That's what our whole team system is about, where you have a team of people that are experts and support people to help you as you're building. But most importantly, we really have all the tools that you need. Everything's getting overhauled. We're going to have new training material and new social squares and all of that to coincide with what we've just launched here. But I would not wait. I tell you, the first day that I got started in DAC, I saw this through friends of mine sharing their story on Facebook. The couple that enrolled me in DAC, the husband was doing a live video presentation talking about how he and his wife had just helped a local business owner get $120,000 in funding, something like that. And in return for them sharing the funding solution, they made a commission check of a little over $4,000. Commission plan was different at that time. And that caught my attention, right? So I sent them a message through Facebook Messenger, and I said, hey, I just saw your live video. What are you guys up to? And within a matter of minutes, the wife had called me on the phone and said, "Hey, Ellen, so good to hear from you. We're super excited about what we got going on." And she started telling me about that. And she said, "I want to send you a video about what we're doing so you can see the presentation." I'm like, "Okay, send it on." So they sent me their partner link, just like we have on the website. Presentation was different because the product line was different. It was funding, but it was very limited, right? As Harlequin said, it's much easier now because our customer base has grown. We don't have such a small net that we're casting anymore. We have a very broad net that we're casting because of what was just launched today. But anyway, I saw that business presentation and I'm going, man, this really resonates with me. But it was almost too good to be true because of the commissions that were available, and you didn't have to pay anything to get started in the business. But back to the point, Melody, I did not come alone. I reached out back to my enroller and I said, "Hey, if I get a couple of people on the phone with me, do you think we could get on the phone with David Rutz? I've got some questions and I would really like to talk to him before I pull the trigger with this." I wanted that high level interaction with him because I had been a top leader with another company. I was a national marketing director, national training director with another company, and I ran a training center. So I had a lot of experience in the networking space, and I wanted to talk to somebody and hear it in his voice that this was the real deal, right? But when I did that call, I didn't want to talk by myself. I invited some friends to get on it with me because I asked them, I wanted their opinion. And we all got on that call together. And before you know it, we got off the call. I had signed up and I had some agents front line to me that were on that call as well. And they all got busy and started recruiting. So that's how you can have a massive explosion in your business, is not waiting for you to learn and know everything, but for you to just go ahead and start sharing the message and you all learn together. When you don't know something, that's the opportunity to call me or your upline team leader and get on the phone and say, "Hey, I've got a new recruit and they have some questions that I didn't quite know the answer. Can you help us, Ellen? Can you talk to both of us?" And instead of you trying to get the answer and pass it back to the new agent, you just get on a three-way call and we have that conversation together. That way you're getting the answer direct from the horse's mouth. Your new agent is getting the right answers. You're getting the right answers. It's a learning experience for everybody. And that's how a three-way call can really help you explode your business. So I encourage you to go ahead and start building and let the system help support you. I like to say that you can earn while you learn if you just plug into the system here. So thank you. I'm glad that Mike reached out. He's a great guy, and I'm glad to have him engaging with you as well. And I appreciate the comments and the feedback and the question to open up that opportunity. Okay, thank you. All right, I have Paula. I'm going to ask you to unmute. How are you doing tonight, Paula?
I'm doing well, thank you. First, I wanted to say thank you for talking to Luana. I am going to follow up with her, and I'm going to see if she can get on the call tomorrow because she said she had a few more questions. So I think she's still a little not sure yet. So I'm going to see if she can get on. I don't know. She has a busy schedule, but I will check. My other question was, as far as gig workers go and 1099 people, I'm still a little bit confused on some of that. Now, say somebody's like a business coach or like myself, not me personally, but like myself, I'm a health coach. So say I was making the right amount of money monthly. I had the deposits, 4 deposits every month. Would I be eligible or do I have to be sorry, I don't understand the whole thing. Can you explain that?
Absolutely. Here's what you need to remember. If someone is making money outside of a traditional job and
Right.
it's income coming in, whether it's through a gig relationship with a company like DAC, your income here, you're a gig worker essentially,
Right.
because this is a part-time gig for most people, right? 1099. So if they're making money outside of a job, whether it's mowing lawns through a network marketing company, selling on Etsy, whatever they're doing that's generating an income coming into either a personal or business account, as long as it's at least $3,000 a month, that is above and beyond what a paycheck would send them, right?
Yep.
Well, even cash deposits, if they've got a trail of that cash is coming in through maybe a Square, taking credit cards and direct deposit, because you can get a Square account and accept credit cards even with a personal checking account. You don't have to have a business account to accept credit cards.
Mhm.
So I know a lot of hairdressers that use Square so they can take credit card payments, but it goes into their personal account, right? So any money, income coming in from any business activity that's non W-2 income will count towards that $3,000 a month. And as long as they're making at least $3,000 a month for the past 3 months,
Yep.
and are making 4 deposits a month, then they would potentially qualify for one of our funding platforms. So,
Okay. Yeah, that really helps, because I mean, social media is, for me anyway, it's full of like business coaches and those types of people, marketing coaches. So I just didn't know if that would include them, but it sounds like it does. Okay.
yeah, absolutely. And also, I was going to say on the invite for tomorrow night, if somebody's going, well, I don't know that I'm open to making money, right? If they say no, which
Mhm.
either they're just not wanting to listen to a pitch about making money, or maybe they're too busy, right? Then
Right.
if they're not interested in coming tomorrow night, then you can say, well, let me ask you this. Do you know anybody that has a part-time gig where they're making money through, Uber or Lyft, or maybe an Amazon driver, or one of these independent contractor income opportunities? Do you know anyone like that? And just pose that question to the person that's saying no, they're not open to coming and looking at the opportunity, because you might be able to get some referrals. Say, well, this company that I'm inviting you to take a look at is doing some really cool things with those type of workers, and I just wanted to pick your brain and see if you knew anyone, because we might be able to help them out. They're in the financial space, and those folks probably want to know what it is that we're doing, and kind of pique their interest that way. So, because
I have one other more of a suggestion, and you guys might not think this is good. I don't know, but I wanted to ask about like collaborating with other people. So this money that they get, whether it's DAC or for a gig worker or whatever, if you partnered with somebody that can help them invest some of that money and help it grow while they're paying it back, is that a good thing to do? Like to invest, to use them as like referrals, like collaborate with each other?
I'm not sure where you're going with that. If you're suggesting the investment, I would steer clear of that. Maybe you can give me a little bit better explanation of what you're offering.
Well, I'm just saying, like, say they get whatever it is, $20,000 or whatever, and they take some of that money, invest it. If you collaborate with those people to go back and, you know what I mean? They're the ones helping them invest some of that money to help them as they're paying it back. You know what I mean? Because now it's growing.
Yeah, I would steer clear of that, because when you get into investments and those things, that's not what we do. You have to be licensed on all of that. And I would steer clear of anything other than being a referral partner in this. Plus, you said if they get 20,000, the most that they're going to get through the gig worker launch that we did today is going to be 5,000. They're typically going to qualify for 20 to 25% of whatever their monthly income is through that non-employee compensation. So they wouldn't get as much as 20,000.
No, I mean, I'm just talking in general, like any one of our programs, one of our offers. So you don't think like it would be helpful for them to be able to invest some of the money? Like I'd use somebody else. I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean?
If you
Yeah.
are a licensed and financial planner, then have at it. But I would not encourage you or anybody on here to try to go down that path unless you're licensed in financial planning, especially investments. I know there are a lot of cryptocurrency programs out there. I've got a guy that I follow. He's a great online marketer, and he sends out stuff every day talking about all the how his income has grown and how his investment has grown, right? But I personally had money in one of those accounts. I invested money in a cryptocurrency platform that was growing and blowing and going like that, and the money was doubling at crazy numbers. But guess what? That money got seized, it got shut down. This was several years ago, It
Oh,
got
no.
shut down because it was in a foreign country and you couldn't withdraw the money from the account. So no matter how much it grew, it doesn't matter if
Yeah.
it's not there and available, right? So I would steer very clear of making any recommendation for any investments or anything like that with anybody that's borrowed money from us, because they're going to be paying about 1.2 on the low end to 1.6 back. I mean, they would have to be making a 200% return on money for it to be worth taking that risk. So I would just steer clear of it unless you're a licensed
So
financial
not-
advisor.
Yeah, like I said, it wouldn't be me. I would refer them to somebody else. And I didn't know
Yeah.
you should collaborate with those type of people.
Yeah, I would be
Yeah.
cautious about it. And if you want to go that path, that's up to you, but keep David Allen Capital out of it, because
Okay.
you don't want anybody thinking that you as a David Allen Capital independent agent, you're really crossing a fine line if you try to go down that path, because somebody is going to get burned somewhere and then they're going to come back to DAC and say, hey, I was talking to one of your agents and they recommended that I do this with the money that I borrowed, and now I've lost all of that money. And they're going to try to hold DAC accountable, which DAC is going to come back and hold you accountable. So I would just steer clear of it altogether.
Okay, I'm glad I asked. Thank you.
Yeah, good question. Thank you. And I'm sure you're helping somebody else steer clear of that as well with
Yeah.
the question. Thank you, Paula.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Anybody else before we wrap up? Anything else in the chat there, Harlequin? Any
Yeah,
other comments?
there's only one thing in the chat, and I think he really needs to have a conversation with you about
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Specifics about a company doing the master agent versus a DAC agent.
Yeah, sure.
So
And whoever that is, please reach out to me. And Harlequin,
I've got his contact info.
okay, perfect. That's even better. All right. Well, I don't see anybody else with your hand up. I hope you really take this opportunity and run with it, inviting people to tomorrow night. And again, if they don't want to look at the opportunity, just say, hey, who do you know that is working part-time as a gig work in the gig economy, working for Uber or Lyft, or has a part-time income stream from any source, right? And get them to think about that and say, well, those people that you know probably need to hear about what my company is doing, and then pique their interest with that. So maybe if they're not interested for themselves, they might come take a look at it because they have friends that need to know what we're doing, right? So get the word out there, be excited about it, and I just look forward to seeing you guys all tomorrow night on our Zooms at 8 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. training. Both of those are going to be at daczoom.com. I'll get the recording out here. Thanks for taking time out of your Monday evening to be here with us. I appreciate you all. I'll see you on the next Zoom. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Good night.